Hey YouTube, I wanted to do a quick little test here of two things. So on this side of my board, I have white paint with a clear coat. This board, I have white paint, but no clear coat sealant. So, so basically what I'm looking at here is I want to test out two types of paint. On each side. So I'm cutting out two earrings, and on this side I'm going to use my acrylic tube paint, and then I'm going to use an acrylic paint marker. And then over here I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to use a tube paint and an acrylic marker. So what I'm trying to accomplish here out of this is seeing if I get bleed into the white on here with clear coat, or if I get bleed over here without clear coat. So just a simple little quick, some baseball earrings, I got the tape on here so that way this will be, actually I need to change it from engrave to score. So I'm just going to score the masking tape away and then cut out my circles. And then I'll be able to just fill in paint where the baseball laces are supposed to be. So let me make that adjustment real quick and then we'll get to cutting. All right, so I made the quick adjustment to that. So we're gonna go ahead and process this over here. I'm just gonna cut the first side out first just to see how the scoring does. And then we'll go from then we'll do the second set of cuts. Now this is real time, so I just wanted to show how quickly this 20 watt is going to score the tape and do at least one cutout of one of the baseball earrings. And then I'll pause it when it finishes up, and then we'll start the second set. So the masking tape is going to do two things on this as well. One, it's going to help with charring. So the cleanup after this should be very limited to pretty much none on that white paint, because the masking tape is taking up the char in this. So if you're not masking your wood, there's a little time saver for you. Alrighty, we're already done. It didn't take as long as I thought. Let's get this up out of the way. Does not look like I got through the masking tape with the score, so I'm gonna up the power a little bit, and then we're going to slow it down. So I think it was a little too fast. So let's make that adjustment. All right, adjustments have been made. So I turned off the cut layer so that way it doesn't cut it again. I was at 150 for the score. So now I took it up to 75 power and 50 on speed. And we'll just see what that does. I haven't really done a testing yet. This was first attempt. I should have done a testing, but I was just kind of eager to jump into it. Oh, I do notice one thing though. Wood is kind of lifting up right there. Actually, we should be good. Let me clear out my alarm here. Does not like it when you lift that up once you set start. It looks a lot better this time. Still think the earrings are a little bit too big still, so those are about 1.5 inches. So I might, once I finish up my testing here, I'll probably move these down to probably about a 1-inch earring cut. And just, but at the same time, that still gives you space to put a baseball number in there. This time. Tweezers here. Oh yeah. And there we go. Oh, my arm's in the way. There we go. I did it just fine. So, all right, I'm going to pause this and we're going to get set up. Sorry, hit pause too soon. We're going to set it up for the uncoated side now. Alrighty, so next set is done. Didn't have to do any depth change because we're still using the same piece of wood. Only thing I had to redo is my marking area. Change the position of how they laid out in that next set of square area. So let's go ahead and get this started. I already see a mistake, so let's redo. Alright, take 2. I forgot that that part up there in that corner was missing from the wood when I did my first measurement. I measured it in the wrong corner. So let's start this all over again. So it's saying about a total of a 2-minute process time for both earrings, so that's not too bad. Alright, so here's my non-treated side for clear coat, and then this is my clear coat side. So I'm gonna hit pause again here, and we're gonna get this set up over at my little paint area, get these marked up of which one is which and which one has what paint features on there, and then we'll get those painted up, let them dry, and then we'll do a finished reveal of what we got going on here. So alrighty, be back in a few. Alright, so what we got going on here is, get my tweezers. So we have a clear coat set, non-clear coat set, and then we're going to try out these acrylic markers that I got from Walmart, or just paint pen in general, and then some acrylic red tube paint that you get from like Hobby Lobby, or you can get from Michael's or other types of stores. So I'm gonna get these masking tape off real quick, maybe. Okay. Go ahead and pause this real quick while I work on this. Alright, so see, fresh pen. Let's get it started. It's more orange than it is red, even though the other one is orange. So let's get this done here real quick. And now for the second one. Okay, 2 down. Don't need too much paint. Actually, go grab one of the smaller brushes. All right, let's do these real quick. We'll let them dry and see what the results are. Definitely less time on the painting process with this. Plus, this is a more brighter and accurate red. Versus the other red that looks more like orange. So, all right, let me finish the other one and we'll
be back.
All right, so good thing working with acrylic paint. It's water-based, so this stuff will dry very quickly, especially if you hit it with a hair dryer. So let's go ahead and get these tapes off. See what we got going on. So far, I think that's still a little bit of tape. That was part of my issue of me messing up there. But seeing a little bit of bleed from the paint pen, but again, I think this is more or less just because of, let me get a better focus on that. Sorry about that. I had an autofocus. Yeah, so right here, you're gonna see a little bit of, zoom in on this a little bit. So yeah, you're gonna see where I didn't get the tape peeled up correctly, or the tape peeled up too much and then caused some bleed spots right here. I mean, again, that could still be tape in that area. There's some bleed spots right there. Again, that all could be tape related. So where are we at? Right there. So again, a couple tape issue spots. Tape didn't come off here or there, but I think that's tape came off there. So it's not 100% perfect. You definitely want to have to pay attention on removing the tape. Probably do the duct tape or get a better score. Clean up your score just a little bit. Sorry, clean up that score just a little bit to make sure that tape is getting cut completely. So, but again, this is the untreated side, so we'll see what this looks like. So here's the comparison. There's the comparison. So I would definitely say the clear coat side is a little cleaner looking. And again, I don't know if this is because I had bad scoring, if I have bad tape pull, especially up in there, but you know, I do have a couple spots here where it looks like this is tape didn't get removed correctly, and in a few spots in here. So you know, but there's your two comparisons of this side being non-coated and this side being coated. And this right here is really going to help out when you start doing your paintings of multi-layer stuff, because you will get bleed, especially if the wood isn't coated very well with the paint. But at the same time, acrylic paint is water-based, so it's going to soak up into any exposed fibers of the wood. So that's why the clear coat works well to help protect this outer coating here, because it's not going to allow it to bleed over. And then if this was even an exposed wood right here and you were just doing this part here, then this paint would not expose into, or you know, bleed into the wood here, because you've sealed the fibers of the wood So that way it's not going to allow the paint to bleed over. So now if you're going to use masking to cover your wood, you definitely want to make sure you take some type of credit card roller, take some type of, or credit card scraper, paints, you know, plastic scraper, some type of roller, because you want to make sure that this gets completely flat, no air bubbles, so that way when you're cutting and engraving, you have less chance of the tape catching on fire and causing the problem there. So, all right, so actually that's one of the better ones right there. Oh, where am I? Right here. It's one of the better ones right there. So lines are very, very clean. Tape came off really well on this one. Versus that one, I would say bleed wise, still no bleed on this one. Again, I think it's because the paint was already sealed and covered up the wood. Plus, we really didn't use that much paint. I really didn't water it down. That's another thing too. If you really water down your paint, then you're adding more water into the wood fibers to soak up. So all you gotta do is really just damp your brush in the water, dry your brush off a little bit, damp it, get the paint flowing just a little bit, and then start painting away. You know, some are just apply the paint directly from the tube and put it directly onto your MDF or plywood. And that's another thing too. A lot of these paint's going to react differently for every wood. This being birch, so this is a little bit more harder wood. If you used pine, there's a softer wood, so that those fibers are going to absorb the water more. MDF, you definitely want to apply a primer coat onto MDF because MDF is going to soak up all the paint and water at first, and you're going to have to apply multiple layers. So, and plus the primer white paint will make your colors a lot more vibrant. So before you cut your MDF wood, just take you a can of spray paint and spray paint it white, primer white, and that's going to seal the pores. It's going to seal the MDF. And then when you go to actually paint your more opaque colors or your more transparent colors and stuff like that, that white base is going to really pop those reds and yellows and, you know, just really make them stand off and make them look a lot better versus a little bit darker because it's getting soaked up, and then you're now adding another layer of paint and you're having to do 2-3 coats just to get the MDF to stop soaking up all the paint. So wood type is definitely also going to be a factor into this. So I do hope this helped a little bit. This helped me out here a little bit. So when I start producing these out, I'm going to do some more testing on getting a better cut to make sure that I'm getting these marks here cut out. Test the baseball earring size. And then the great thing about when you cut these out, then you would be able to take it and then you would be able to flip it over, do the same thing on the other side, and now you'd have double-sided earrings instead of just one side, and you know, or you can just leave the back side blank, you know. But you would just be able to pop this out, flip it over, put it back in, and go ahead and just don't do what I did here, which is accidentally drop it in the paint right there. So, all right, well, sorry the video was kind of long and boring, but this stuff wasn't easy to undo, and definitely don't recommend these markers because that is not red, that is orange. So it gave me like two variant colors in orange. So, and maybe if this was a little, not a extra ultra fine, maybe if it was a little bit more fat tip marker, it wouldn't have felt like I was scrubbing, and I would just been able to paint over it like a paintbrush here. But it was just quicker and easier just to do a small amount of paint on my paintbrush here and get it really down into the grooves and get a lot better. Because even this one, and again, I still think this is part of me figuring out the settings for the tape, but you know. All right, experiment done. There's my fails and passes. See them as I do them. So hope you learned something, because I know I did. See ya.